Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of The Suited Shootist. I'm back in my Goodwill getup again, so that means I'm actually going to be doing some work in it this time. As mentioned in one of the previous videos, what I want to do is actually see how much my draw is affected by wearing less stretchy knit clothing like a true dress shirt and a pair of wool slacks, as opposed to the stretchy material that I did the last time I visited this topic. So let's see what happens. I've got my Enigma on. I've got my empty training gun on for the sake of argument. Let's go ahead. There is no magazine in it. There is nothing in the chamber or magwell. So we'll go ahead and put that back up. Get to do the magic mic thing for you guys a few times today, because in order to set this back up, kind of got to take my pants off. So if that's your thing, give the video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, that's always appreciated as well. I've got my shot timer also, so let's go ahead and see what we are working with here. So for the sake of it, par set at 1.3. Let's do it live. I've done no prep for this, so I just want to see kind of what's happening and go from there. This is also going to help because one of the things I've been trying to work on is actually staying relaxed as opposed to really kind of tensing up. So this is going to be interesting because I'm also kind of banged up my hands and my neck from jiu-jitsu. So let's see what happens here. I did get it up and on target before that second beep went off. As I'm sure you saw, I didn't get the cover garment cleared quite high enough, so I had to fight around it a little bit. I am not necessarily looking to get the trigger press in this part-time. Something that I've talked to quite a few folks about is the access to the gun and the trigger press. It's worth practicing those two things independently, because if you ingrain the two together, it does become harder to not shoot. It kind of becomes almost a preconditioned response, depending. So, short version, I don't always press the trigger every time I pull the gun out. I just barely had the dot come into frame as that second beep went off, but I did still beat that 1.3. Let's see if I can do it with a trigger press, because that's something else I'm working on, is not spending as much time acquiring and over confirming my dot. Okay, didn't quite break the shot before the beep. If I had to guess, that's probably closer to about 1.5, which tends to be about where I live when it comes to draw a first shot. I'm only about 5 feet away, but I am using my my smartphone as the example. So I'm trying to use a relatively reasonable target window. And I'm not checking to make sure my zipper's up for the sake of the video. It's really just to make sure that I don't have any unfair give in the clothing. I let go of this hand. So in this instance, you can actually see that, I tried to draw the gun through the shirt, so that's no bueno. Let's put that away and try that again. But even before I flubbed the draw, I felt that I didn't have the support hand where I wanted it. So let's try that again. Oh, and a button came loose too. Just barely. Now, what I'm actually doing is I'm kind of using myself as the aiming point, and I'm not breaking the shot until I have a headshot on me. So it's not the full smartphone size. I'm relatively shooting at something about the size of my thumb. Just for the sake of it, I will try and break the shot as soon as I see the dot on the smartphone, because that should be fun. How about that? As soon as I have less tension in my shoulders, even though it felt slower, I would be willing to venture that that shot broke. I still didn't beat the buzzer, but it was much closer. If I had to guess, I'd say that was probably a 1.4. Because I feel like that shot broke pretty much just after the beep was done. Oh, that was close. I'm actually going to have to look at the replay on that. I think that shot broke on the very tail end of the beep. But, yeah. What's interesting is, aside from that one flubbed draw, where honestly I just wasn't getting decent purchase on the cover garment, that would have been a flubbed draw even in untucked street clothes, because I was trying to make the time, not focus on the process. So that one was a flubbed draw. Let's do a couple more here, just because I want to see. Do like 3 or 4 more, so that way I can at least get best out of 10 and get a sense for failure rate, basically. Now again, this is a very small sample size, but you guys aren't going to want to watch a full video of me doing this for, 100 or 1,000 draws, and honestly, I don't necessarily think I have that attention span, at least not all at once. So let's do a couple more of these and see what happens. Okay. That one, I feel like I swung the gun up a little bit. The presentation didn't feel great, but the access felt fine. Now, if you have been around the gunternet for any period of time, apparently the new favorite thing to do when it comes to drawing from a tucked dress shirt is folding up a shirt tail to kind of give you a little bit of a grab handle. I did not reset my trigger for that last one, but I had presentation and I had the slack out of the trigger when that broke. I feel like that would have almost been par time. A couple folks have started kind of folding the shirt tail up to create a grab handle sticking out from under the, from above the waistline. I'm going to play with it, and that's probably going to require, I can probably do that dry. It'll be easier to determine live fire, but again, we'll see. Based on what I'm seeing here, I'm not sure that's really necessary. And initially, why I'm not a huge fan of it. Fuck that up. Why I'm not a huge fan of it is because it's abnormal. You know, having that little tail hanging out to a degree where it's accessible, it's probably going to be visually noticeable as well. And now you've got a little flag right over your gun that is drawing the eyes directly to it. So I'm sure there's people that it works for, but I'm not necessarily sold on it being a necessary hack yet. I need to stop dropping my damn head, because that's my other bad habit. I've got a lot of bad habits. But, you know, that's what happens when you start shooting and you don't really get a lot of quality formal instruction until a whole bunch of damage is done. I'm a hell of a lot better than I was even a few years ago, but good lord. I still cringe watching some of the old videos. One more. That was good. So anyways, short version, you know, 1.3 par, I'm getting that gun out and on target at that pretty well. Can I get faster? Yes. Are there other things that I'm personally focusing on at the moment? Also yes. But what do you guys think? You know, this is in my mind, the representation of train how you fight, because this clothing behaves differently than my casual street clothing. And so I need to know what those differences and limitations and nuances are, so that way I can plan accordingly. I'm going to do another video here where I talk about the specifics that I am working to establish as baseline. If you go back and watch this video, I'm not doing them consistently yet. But they are elements that I'm working on specifically. So tell me what you think. I want to hear it down in the comments. Aside from that, hope everybody has a great week. Stay dangerous, stay sharp.